Welcome back to the Life Lab, the space where we slow down, we tune in, and we explore what it means to live and lead with depth. And today's episode is for anyone who's ever felt stuck in a relationship dynamic, where you've said to yourself, I've tried everything, I can't change this, it's out of my hands. Maybe it's a colleague, maybe it's your boss, maybe it's even a family member. Whoever it is, it's someone who seems unreachable, immovable, or just uninterested. So let's explore what influence in relationships really means, especially when it feels like you have none. So when a relationship feels stuck, it's easy to believe the story that I've done all I can, they're never going to change, I just have to live with it. And sometimes that's true. But often it's not the whole truth. Because influence isn't about control, it's about presence, it's about energy, and it's about how you show up, even when the other person doesn't. And I work with senior leaders who feel powerless in relationships they feel they should be able to navigate. They say things like, I can't get through to my CEO, my board doesn't listen, my team doesn't trust me. And underneath that, there's often a quiet grief, a sense of rejection, a fear that maybe they're not enough. But here's what we discover together. Influence starts with self-awareness, not strategy, not persuasion, but clarity about what you're bringing into the space and what you're expecting in return. And we often miss something, and that is that relationships change when we change. Not because we're manipulating the outcome, but because our energy, our posture, and our presence all send signals. And when we stop trying to be right and start being curious, something shifts. When we stop defending and start listening, something shifts. And when we stop needing them to change and start changing how we show up, the dynamic begins to move. So don't expect anyone else to change. That expectation creates tension, disappointment, and resentment. Instead, we can focus on our clarity, our boundaries, our values, our way of being. Because when we shift, the relationship shifts, even if the other person doesn't. So here's some levers you do have, even when it feels like you don't. Your tone, are you calm, reactive, guarded, open? Your timing, are you choosing the right moment or repeating the same one? Your assumptions, are you approaching them as an adversary or as someone who might surprise you? Your boundaries, are you clear about what's okay and what's not? Your story, are you stuck in the they'll never change or open to what haven't I tried yet? Influence isn't about forcing change, it's about creating the conditions where change could happen. When we feel powerless in a relationship, it often hits our identity, and especially if we see ourselves as capable, as someone who builds trust, as someone who should be able to make things work. So when it doesn't work, we don't just feel frustrated, we feel inadequate. But your worth isn't defined by how others respond to you, and your influence isn't measured by immediate results. It's measured by your consistency, your integrity, and your willingness to stay in the arena. If this resonates, try this experiment this week. Notice where you feel powerless and name the story you're telling yourself. Shift one small thing, your tone, your timing, your assumptions. Let go of the expectation that they will change. Reflect on what part of your identity feels threatened and offer it compassion. And remember, relationships don't always change because you push harder. They change because you do. Thanks for being here in the lab with me. And if it stirred something in you, share it with someone who's navigating a tough relationship. And as always, keep experimenting, keep evolving, and keep showing up as the most grounded, powerful version of you. Until next time.